Kids and cadets, welcome back to Tommy Time. Hopefully, you're having a good day. If not, there's still time to have a good day. So, I just bought the newest John Deere rider I have ever bought. So, looking it over now that I got it home, maybe it wasn't such a good idea. We got to investigate. So, a few weeks ago, I saw an ad on Facebook Marketplace for 10 handheld extinguishers. I think they're 4 pounders. So messaged the gentleman. He lived out near the beach out at the village of Cortez. It's in Manatee County. It's a fishing village. If you ever watched the movie The Perfect Storm about the fishing boat that sank off of New England when there was some converging weather patterns. They never made it home. Well, one of the seamen was from Cortez Village here in Florida. The rest were from New England, I believe. So I went out. He had 7 left, so I bought 7 of them. Reason being, I was out with my daughter a month or two ago. We went out to breakfast and there was a car on fire, and I thought, shoot, if I had a fire extinguisher, I could stop and get my firefighting merit badge. So I dispersed the fire extinguishers, gave my daughter a couple for the house, 1 for each car, gave 1 to my son, gave 1 to my brother, and I've got 1 in my pickup truck. So that worked out good. So I told him what I did. This guy had a little apartment complex and he just upgraded the extinguishers, got new ones. So I said, yeah, I buy mowers and fix them. And he said, oh, I got a John Deere that was flooded in the last hurricane. He said, it's behind the shed. He says, you want to look at it? And I said, yeah, I'll check it out. So there was, like I said, it was behind the shed. And he said, oh, it flooded. And I says, well, how much? And he says, well, and he went like this on the side of the shed, and it was only like a couple of feet off the ground. And I thought, well, that's not bad. That would only bring it up to about the deck here. So I popped the hood. This is a 2021, by the way. And I look down here and I see the solenoid, the main lead from the original battery, just rusted off the solenoid. Then I take a closer look. I see a seashell back there and 1 here. And I thought, how did it get all corroded if it was only a couple of feet? So now I get home, I start looking closer. I got corrosion here. I got corrosion on the starter, up on the battery I showed you. So I step back and I see a dirt line. And here it is. The thing was this high. Water was this high, I'm guessing. I didn't know that or notice it before, but you can see a distinct, dirty, and clean. So right here, you can see it on the air filter right about there. So I might have just screwed myself on this 2021 Sierra 120. So he calls me and says, hey, I'm not even going to mess with that John Deere. You offered 100, I'll take 100 for it. So I hooked the trailer up, went out and snatched it. I see a built in Greenville, Tennessee, but I don't see with Global Components because I'm looking around later and I see this harness down there. It has MEX Mexico. So the harness was pre-made in Mexico and shipped here. So we got some debris there. I stick my nose in and it smells like the beach. I'm getting that salty, sandy smell. Deck looks fine. Tires are new. So I look at the seat. Seat's not damaged. But I come back here and it's got a date code of 24. So maybe this thing got spongy and he replaced it. He didn't tell me he replaced the seat, but they made this seat in 2024 after the original date. So he may have washed off any inkling of flooding, but as you could see, I picked up that line on the engine. So the tanks here, if it's got a good seal, I hope no seawater got into the gas. It's almost filled. So he said, I got another machine. I found one a year old. Lady wanted $2,000 for it. It had been sitting. I offered her 15 and she took it. So I don't need this one. I got one that is newer and it runs. So I want to do two things. I want to turn the spindles and I want to pull the plug. So we're going to have Niagara Falls here with water coming out of the cylinder. I couldn't do anything here. Well, I guess I could have. There's one model where you can't turn it because of the screen. Didn't know that. But I could try to reach down here to the pulley. So let's do that. This might be a disaster. But I do have a 21-inch. I took in another John Deere a while ago. The whole deck was shot. Seat was shot. Missing a couple of parts. It has a 21 twin on it. I think it's the L130, if I'm not mistaken. So that's why I bought that machine. It's got the 21-inch twin. If this thing is toast, I could try to move that engine over to this one. The holes are going to be the same. So you got 921 on the battery, John Deere original battery. I'm sure this thing is no good. So we had the hurricane last year, I think in September or October. So this thing hasn't seen much use. 21 to 24, and then it sat for a year. So I stopped to see my son on the way home, and I said, what's going to be the issue is the wiring. You'll have that salt water gets into the wiring, it'll corrode and cause you aggravation like you've never seen before. Okay, Southwest Airlines, you need to put mufflers on your exhaust. That was way too loud. Oh, okay, so right away we got corrosion here on the plug wire and on the plug itself. There's some salt. I'm gonna crap my pants if 6 ounces of 6 ounces of water come out. So it's coming out hard. I'm just gonna go back and forth. The other thing I could do is fill the intake with ATF, automatic transmission fluid, and let it sit overnight. Hopefully the fluid would get out here to the threads on the plug. Can I grab the, yeah, this engine might be crapola. I just don't want to strip out the threads here in the aluminum head. That would be a pisser. Okay. I'm just going to take my time because I can rhyme. Yeah, so already I'm seeing that this is a mistake. Okay, we're coming out easier now. Son of a gun. It's got a huge filter on it though. Turf guard. Designed for 1030 4-cylinder engines. There seems to be some fire activity nearby. Come on, why won't this thing agree with me? It's really dragging. Thought I had it loose enough. Okay, enough of this nonsense. The socket's staying on until I can get it off all the way. Oh. Oh. Oh, crap. We got Jello and we got a fishing expedition. Stinker. Stinker, stinker. Crap. I wonder if this thing can be salvaged. You know what I mean? Let's see what the other side looks like. Maybe this thing was tilted. One side might have got more than the other. Who knows? So I wonder if I'm going to have to take this air filter off and see what height actually just let it dump in free fall right through the intake. You know what I mean? Because the bowl is pretty sketchy and the top of the carb is all crapped out. Oh, this side's coming off finger tight. I wonder if we'll have a water flow. Okay, it's dry. There's a little bit of salt between the gap, some rust, but no signs of moisture. Okay, so what can we do? I doubt I'll be able to turn this by hand. Blades, I mean, the belt's all rusty. I could Coast Guard C-130. I could take this off, put a socket on the flywheel and try braking it back and forth, but I want to load up each cylinder with ATF first. Maybe take valve covers off, see if more water pours out of here. What's the oil look like even? Okay, the oil's not contaminated. I don't have a milkshake, and the viscosity's about right for 1030. So it didn't get high enough to flood the crankcase. Okay, let me remove this and kind of eyeball this. That's rusty. So this is going to be a workout, this $100 green machine. Okay, so it's got the cone. Okay. So, I mean, there's a bunch of cockroach turds on this, but I'm trying to see the level here. Maybe the paper element stops some of the water, but a ton of roach turds in here. Nice dark and wet environment. So I guess I'm going to have to snoop some more. So that's probably what I'll do. ATF both cylinders, use a little funnel and a hose to get it in there, and then put a big open end wrench or something on this and keep working it. Who knows, maybe it'll spin freely and puke out more water on the other side. This side wasn't terribly bad, so who knows. Solenoid here could be rusted up. There's just going to be so many factors with this thing. And I still didn't check spindles. I'm guessing those are going to be questionable. Where can I get my hand? Under here. Oh yeah, I can't do anything with this. Rock solid. So that's a stinker. Hopefully the transmission's a sealed unit and it didn't go in the breather hole and give me a seafood soup. Since we had so much water on this side, I'm thinking about popping the valve cover right now and just see what it's going to be. See, do I have my air gun? I had to take all the tools off my tailgate to shut the tailgate to go get this thing. But I have my blow gun. I'm just going to blast some air into the cylinder here and see. Yeah, quite a bit still coming out. Darn it. It's like pasty. Maybe some oil and water mixed. It's like a paste, a stinky paste. At least I'm getting some of the moisture out before I ATF it. Eesh. Eesh. the things I have to do just to please you. Okay, here we go. We're gonna bust this off. Check it out without a doubt. I'm guessing it's a 10. Tenors. Too bad the newest John Deere I ever bought, it was a floody-duddy. It's all pretty and stuff, but nothing works. That L130 with the 21 horse. I'll have to check that one out. Never checked the engine on that. I'd have to hook a battery up and just goose it with some carb cleaner or hook up a small gas tank just to see if it's going to be a good engine. I paid $50 for that. I hope it's worth it for the engine, and I'll just get rid of the deck. Uncle Brad wants the deck for some front rollers. Because he has a similar one. He wants to try to scrounge some parts. So I told him have at it. Cracking this vacuum hose. This runs the fuel pump. So I'll have to get another one or goober it up with some shoe glue. But not do that, I'll break the nipple off. Where can I get in behind this thing? I'm gonna get a flat head. Mm-hmm. A big flat head. Okay, I don't see anything pouring out. Well, I just put some RTV. Okay, so that's this side's good. I don't see any rust. Oh, there's some corrosion down there. See that? The leftover salt. pretty corroded there. I mean, not on the aluminum, just whatever was deposited there. Salt. Okay, that's about all I can show you. I'm going to put an extension on my air gun to get right in there with the compressed air, blast as much Gulf water I can out of here, then ATF overnight, and then remove the cage here and just little by little break it free, and then deal with the electrics. I have a couple of spare solenoids, so take that one out because it's rusted. Steal a lead off another junk machine and keep plowing it. Hope that's not a rat's nest. I see a peanut casing there. I hope I didn't bring home varmints. Now I'm worried. I see some paper, some plastic there. Yeah, because they'll grab anything for nesting. So this is going to be a rat disaster too. Okay, hold on. Skittles wrapper. Unless this was all debris in the water and it ended up here. No, I think something was in there because it was coming in through here. There was a little pocket here that looks like a bed, a rat's bed, all smoothed out with insulation on top. So maybe when I was doing 55 down Cortez Road, the rats hightailed it. No, I wasn't doing 55. It's a 45 with potholes. I didn't want to bounce my fillings out of place. You guys want to know what model this is? I'll put it down below. I can see it here. Built 9th month, 15th day of 21. Assembled in USA. Okay. The Sierra 120 lawn tractor. Curious also is what the hours are, since it was only used for a couple years. Okay, it's got the manual lever for the blade engagement. There's a button to cut while in reverse, your controls, and the key switch. And it is a hydrostatic transmission. Okay, have a good day. Let me know what you think. For 100 buckaroos.